जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। मुना तीरवनचारी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 10, the chapter entitled as The Discussion Between Jada Bharata and Maharaj Rahugana. Text number 5. Since this shloka is in prose, it is not in poetry, I will only read the shloka as well as the translation, etc. So here there is a discussion that is going to happen between Maharaja Rahugana and Jada Bharata. सांसर्गिको दोष एव नृणाम एकस्यापि शृण्वेषां सांसर्गिकानां भवितुम् अर्हतीति निश्चित्य निशम्य कृपणवचो राजा रहुगण उपासिता वृद्धोपि निसर्गेण बालात् कृत ईषद् उत्थित मन्युर् अविस्पष्ट ब्रह्म तेजसां जात वेदसां इव Rajasavruta Matir Aha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ke Dwara. King Rahugana could understand the speeches given by the carriers who were afraid of being punished. He could also understand that simply due to the fault of one person, the palanquin was not being carried properly. Knowing this perfectly well and hearing their appeal, the king became a little angry. Although he was very advanced in political science and was very experienced, his anger arose due to his inborn nature as a king. Actually, King Rahugana's mind was covered by the mode of passion, and he therefore spoke as follows to Jada Bharata, whose Brahman effulgence was not clearly visible, being covered like a fire covered by ashes. The context here is the king of Sindhu province was traveling. He was carried by a palanquin. So on the way, one of the 4 palanquin carriers got sick or something happened. So they wanted one more person who can carry the palanquin. So while they were searching for a person, they found Bharata, whom we are calling here as Jada Bharata. So he was very strong and stout, and he was employed in carrying the palanquin. While carrying the palanquin, on the roadside, there are a lot of hands. As a result of that, Jada Bharata was walking very slowly. He does not want to harm or kill any ants. Other 3 were walking fast, and one among the 4 is walking slow. As a result of that, palanquin was going out of order. It is shaking. The king inside was annoyed. He kind of reprimanded the 4 carriers. They carry properly. Then the other 3 complained that, my dear king, we 3 are carrying properly, but the 4th person is not carrying properly. That's why this problem. So hearing this, the king is about to speak. So before he could speak, Sukadeva Goswami is talking about what was the mentality, what is happening in the heart of King Rahugana. King Rahugana, though is a good king, expert in management and is very pious person, but still, because he is a king by nature has a controlling mentality, he is affected by Rajoguna. As a result of that, he could not understand the glories of Bharata, who is like the fire covered by the smoke. When the fire covered by smoke or fire covered by the ashes, we can't understand there is fire inside. So right now, Bharata's condition is like that. So that is being indicated in this verse. So Prabhupada writes, the distinction between Rajoguna and Sattva-guna is explained in this verse. That means the distinction between King Rahugana, who is in Rajoguna, and Jada Bharata, who is in Sattva-guna, is explained in this verse. Although the king was very upright and advanced in political science and governmental management, he was nonetheless in the mode of passion, and therefore, due to a slight agitation, he became angry. For small inconvenience, the king immediately became angry. Jada Bharata, despite all kinds of injustice endured because of his deaf and dumb display, remained silent by the strength of his spiritual advancement. On the other side, Jada Bharata was like Paramahamsa. A Paramahamsa Bhakta was not supposed to be employed to carry a palanquin of an ordinary king of this world. But still, he was quiet. He was carrying the palanquin. Nonetheless, his Brahma Teja, his Brahman effulgence was indistinctly visible in his person. His Brahman effulgence, though it is covered by the external bodily display, but it becomes visible very soon. His Brahma Teja is going to be displayed to King Rahugana. So that is the context in which this sloka is being spoken. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the devotees who have come taking all your time to the temple, and also I would like to express my gratitude to temple management that they have given me this opportunity to render some service to all the devotees. So before beginning, I would like to seek all of your permission as well as blessings and prayers so that we can speak something which will be useful to all of us, which is meaningful, etc. So here the discussion is about Jada Bharata and Rahugana. For many days and weeks, all of you have been hearing about Bharata Maharaj. Previously was the king, eventually became the deer, then now he became a son of a Brahmana, etc. But there is an interesting reason why Bharat Maharaj was behaving like Unmatta, Jada, Anda, Badira, Swarupena, Darshayam, Asa Lokasya. Even though he was born in a Brahmana family, he was acting as if a mad. Unmatta means mad. Jada means insane. Anda, blind. Badira, deaf. So this is his outward display to the entire world. But within the core of his heart, what kind of personality is he? Karma bandha vidvamsana shravana smarana guna vivarana charanara vinda yugalam manasa vidadad atmana. Within the core of his heart is continuously thinking about the two lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Shravana smarana gunanu katana charanara vinda. Externally he is behaving like a mad, insane and also blind, deaf, etc. But internally he was very much closely connected with the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Shravana, Smarana and also Archana, etc. Why? The reason is Karma Bandha Vidvamsana. He wanted to destroy the Karma Bandhan. There is a reason for that. We are going to discuss that. What is the reason? Bhagavat Anugrahena Anusmruta Swapura Sapurva Janmavalir Atmanam. By the mercy of the Supreme Lord, he was able to remember his previous lives. All of us are also born. We are grown up. Do we remember our previous life? Not possible. We have forgotten. But he remembers his two previous lives. In the first life, he was the king. In the second life, he was the deer. Now, he does not want to take any more birth. For that reason, he is behaving like a Unmatta, Jada, Badira, Anda. So that he can go back home back to Godhead in this very lifetime. That was the whole intention. Just brief overview of who is this personality. At the beginning of the creation, Brahma begot Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu had two sons. One was Priyavrata, second was Uttanapada. Uttanapada was the father of Dhruva Maharaj. So Priyavrata was another son. Priyavrata had many sons. Eldest among them was Agnidra. Agnidra also had many sons. Eldest among them was Nabi. Nabi wanted to have a son, not ordinary son. He wanted to have a son like the Supreme Lord. He performed a nice yajna. Supreme Lord said, there is no one like me. I will only appear as your son. The Supreme Lord himself appeared as son of Nabi. That was none other than Lord Rishabhadeva. He ruled for good amount of time. Before he would take Vanaprastha as a mendicant, he instructed his sons how to live, how to carry forward the legacy. So some of his instructions are very, very strong. He says, this is Lord Rishabhadeva speaking. Nayam deho deha bhajamruloke kastan kaman arhate vidbhujam ye tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam Shuddhed yasmat brahma saukyam tu anantam. See, human body or human life comes to everyone. But this human life should not be used for sense gratification, which is even available for vidbhujam. Vidbhujam means pig, the stool eater. Even the pig, which is stool eating animal, can have the similar kind of sense gratification. If a human also lives for the same, then what is the use? Then what is the purpose of human life? Tapo divyam. Human life is meant for performing tapasya, divya tapasya. Not tapasya like Hiranyakashipu and Ravana Kumbhakarna. Divya tapasya. For what purpose? Shuddhed yasmad. To purify our heart, to purify our antakarana, which is filled with kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, masarya. So what do you get by purifying? By such purification? Brahma saukyam tu anantam. Unlimited happiness of Brahman. That is the purpose of human life. Then he says, Kastam swayam tadabhignyo vipaschid avidyayam antare vartamanam drishtva punastam sagruna kuviddim prayojayad utpatagam yatandam. In this material world in front of our eyes, there are so many people whose mind has been bewildered. They are only interested in sense gratification. Looking at them, we should never ever encourage them to do the same things. We should always try to bring them to right path. This is the first and foremost duty of human. First, work for one's own benefit, then help others come close to Supreme Lord. These are the two principal duties of every human being. Then, very interesting thing he says that Gurur na sasya swajano na sasyat pita na sasya janani na sasyat daivam na tasya annapatischa sasyan namo chayadya samupeta mrutyum. What to speak of somebody on the roadside? Even somebody who is very close to us, we have great responsibility. Unless until we take the responsibility of delivering someone who is very close to us from the repeated cycle of birth and death, we don't have any right to become guru. We don't have any right to become relative or friend. We don't have any right to become father, mother, and we don't have any right to become the worshipful deity and also husband. If one cannot deliver a person, a subordinate from the repeated cycle of birth and death, one can never ever should become guru, friend, relative, father, mother, husband, and the worshipful deity. This is the greatest responsibility every human being has in this world. Because one may be in one of these relationships always. So one has the greatest responsibility of delivering the subordinate from the cycle of birth and death. Finally says that, how can one do that? How can one deliver oneself or how can one help others to deliver from this material world? Mano vacho druk karaneti hasya sakshat kritam me pari barhanam hi vina puman yena mahat vimoham kritanta pasham na vimotiksham. Kritanta pasham. Pasham, yamapash. One cannot be delivered from yamapash unless until one serves the Supreme Lord by one's mind, one's words, one's vision, one's activities, and all with one's senses. That means one should always engage in the service of Supreme Lord, manasa, vacha, karmana, continuously. These are the final instructions of Lord Rishabhadeva to his 100 sons. The eldest among them was Bharat Maharaj. And then he himself has accepted Jada Yoga. Jada Yoga means Digambara Sannyasi. Lord Rishabhadeva himself became Digambara Sannyasi in order to establish one should become indifferent to this material world and leave behind this material world and go back to Godhead. Afterwards, his son Bharata Maharaj also ruled for some time, given the kingdom to his son, and then he went to Kulahashram, that means Himalayas, to perform Vanaprastha duties. So he was nicely performing his Vanaprastha duties, every day worshipping Supreme Lord. But one day, he happened to find a deer. The mother, who was pregnant, was trying to drink water on the riverside. Suddenly, one tiger came from behind. Hearing the gorging sound of the tiger, the deer jumped across the river. As a result of sudden jump, the child came out of the womb and fell into the water. And Bharata Maharaj was taking bath nearby. He suddenly went and collected the deer cub because the mother fell aside and fell dead. So he came and he was taking care of the deer. While taking care of the deer, he slowly forgot worshipping the Lord. He was not doing his duties. As a result of that, finally, one day he has to die. While dying, he remembered the deer. He was having the deer on his lap. He was thinking about the welfare of the deer. Eventually appeared as deer in the next life. Yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati ante kalevaram tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavita. Whatever we remember at the time of death, that is what we get in the next life. That is what happened. He became deer, but he remembered his past life. Even though he became deer, he stayed in the vicinity of the sages and he lived his life only eating the remains of the sages. And one day he left his body as a deer. Then he took birth as Brahmana, in the family of Brahmana. Having taken birth in the family of Brahmana, he never want to behave like a Brahmana. Then he behaved like Unmatta, Jada, Badira, and Anda. Because He does not want to do anything of this world. Let people treat me like a mad person. Let people treat me like a deaf and dumb. Let people treat me like a jada, like a stone. No problem. I don't want to interact with this world. Within the core of his heart, simply remembering and meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, so that he can go back to Godhead. His family members were mistreated him. They had agriculture field. They would ask him to stay in the field and just shoo the birds away. Like that. They would feed him the leftover food. Still never mind. Even one day, from the field, some thieves caught him. And they wanted to give him as Bali to Durga Devi, so that they can become victorious in their robbery. Still he did not say anything. Mother Kali herself came from the deity and killed all the thieves. Because they are devotee of Supreme Lord. How can Kali will remain? Because Kali, who is Kali? Who is Durga Devi? Durga Devi, the younger sister of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So how can she remain silent when her brother's devotee is getting troubled, getting killed? So then, having saved from that Kali Bali, he was walking on the roadside. That is when the king's palanquin carriers made him carry the palanquin. But there are a lot of hands on the path. So he was carrying slowly. As a result of that, palanquin was going like this, like this. The king became angry. And is going to chastise the Bharat Maharaj. That will come tomorrow onwards. From tomorrow onwards, you can get to hear all that. But eventually, the king realizes that this person is not an ordinary person. He is a Paramahamsa. He surrenders and takes shiksha from him. That is what is the future discussion. So now, why? Our Bharat Maharaj, in spite of being a great devotee, he was already said that he already reached the Bhava platform. But why is he behaving like a Badira? Why is he behaving like Jada? What was the purpose? What does he want to achieve by behaving like this? That is the question. Just like here he became attracted to a deer, as a result of that he has to take birth as a deer and eventually he has to take birth as a Brahmana. Similarly, there was another person who also made a small mistake. He went for a hunting. He became hungry. He came to the ashram of a sage. He requested some water and some food. The sage did not respond. He put a snake across the neck of the sage. He went back. As a result of this small thing, the sage's son cursed him to die in 7 days. How? For a small mistake, Shringi cursed him to die in 7 days. When the king realized, he said, I made a mistake, I am receiving the result. It is very much appropriate. He made his son as the next king. His son was still young only, he was still studying in the Gurukul. The son does not even know that his father is going to die in 7 days. His Gurukul somewhere far away. So then, he renounced and came to the bank of Ganga. He wanted to fast till death. For the next 7 days, he don't want to eat, he don't want to drink. Then all the great sages came. Sukadeva Goswami also came. He requested Sukadeva Goswami sit on the high asan and he asked one question. Not one, two questions. What is the highest perfection and how to achieve that? Ata pruchami samsiddhim yoginam paramam guru. Purushasyeha yatkaryam muryamanasa sarvada. What is the highest perfection? What is the highest goal that one should attain? And what a person should do throughout one's life? Especially for a person like me. What I am supposed to do? Who have only 7 days. Please tell me. Sukadeva Goswami says, Tasma sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shrotavya kirtitavya smartavya ichata abhayam. If you want to attain highest perfection, you should do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. There is something called as Bhakti. It has got 9 things. Please do all those things. Parikshit Maharaj said, my dear sir, I don't have so much time to do all these things. I only have 7 days. Please tell me one thing, doing which I can attain the highest perfection. Then Sukadeva Goswami said, Pibantiye Bhagavatam Atmanam Satam Katamrutam Shravana Putesh Samrutam Punantite Vishaya Vidushitashayam Vrajanti Tatcharana Saroru Ankitam. Please hear Bhagavatam. By hearing Bhagavatam, your heart becomes completely pure and you will attain the highest perfection. What is the highest perfection? Vrajanti Tatcharana Saroru Ankitam. Getting the place at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. or the Supreme Lord. Where are the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? Where does the Lord's lotus feet stay? Huh? Vrindavan. And Lord Vishnu's lotus feet? Lord Rama's lotus feet? Saket or Ayodhya. That means we'll be able to get shelter to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord only in Vaikuntha or Ayodhya or in Vrindavan. So, highest perfection is to go back home, back to Godhead. When one does bhakti, one will attain that. For Parikshit Maharaj, Shravanam. For all of us, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, etc. So like that. Because we have more than 7 days. You only had 7 days. Hamara paas entire life hai. So we can do all the things. So that was the whole thing. So now, I need to hear Krishna Katha, then speak Krishna Katha. He requested Sukadeva Goswami, speak Krishna Katha. He said, please speak about the pastimes of Supreme Lord. Starting with Vishnu's pastimes of creation. So, Sukadeva Goswami spoke Vishnu's pastimes of creation. And then he talks about material world, spiritual world, Ekapadi Buddhi, Trivadi Buddhi. And then he talks about the different avatars of Supreme Lord. What are the different avatars Lord appears? Everything. He spoke very briefly. Sukadeva Goswami is known for one thing. Sago dohana matrami griheshu gruhamedinam avekshate mahabaha tirthukurvan tadashramam. He does not spend time with grahasthas, not more than the time required to milk a cow. But already ek do murta ho gaya. He is ready to get up and leave. Parikshit Maharaj is worried. I have 7 days. Who will speak? I am supposed to hear. Somebody should speak. Sukadeva Goswami anyway started. I cannot change the speaker. Now I have to keep Sukadeva Goswami here only. Then he asked 25 questions. He asked so many. Can you turn on this? So, he asked so many questions. Sarvam etacha Bhagavan purchatomi anupurvasha. Tattvato arhasi udahartum pranamya mahamune. Please speak about answer to all my 25 questions and also other things also. Don't worry about my hunger and thirst. For the next 7 days, I am not going to eat. I am not going to drink. You please continue to speak. Name asava parayanti brahman anashadami. Pivado achyuta piyusham tad vyakyabdi vinishrutam. By hearing Krishna Katha, I am completely nourished. I am not at all worried about hunger and thirst. You please speak Krishna Katha continuously without any disturbance. Then Sukadeva Goswami says that, in order to answer all your questions, I need to speak Bhagavatam. What is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam was originally spoken by Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to Brahma. Lord Vishnu to Brahma. And Brahma spoke the same Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. After speaking the same Bhagavatam to Narada Muni, Brahma took a vow from Narada Muni. My dear son, give me this vow. What is that? Idam Bhagavatam nama enme Bhagavatoditam sangrahoyam vibhutinam tvametad vipulikuru. Whatever I have spoken, you elaborate it and speak to everyone. Whomsoever meet, you speak that Bhagavatam to everyone. How? Yata haro Bhagavati nunam bhaktir bhavishati. Whomsoever you speak, bhakti should appear in their heart. After hearing from you, everyone should get bhakti. This is the vow Brahma took from Narada Muni. Since then, Narada Muni is speaking to many people. Whomsoever he spoke, they became devotees. Whom he spoke? At the very beginning, he spoke to Dhruva Maharaj, who was 5 years old. Dhruva Maharaj became wonderful devotee. Then he spoke to Prachina Bari. Prachina Bari busy in Karmakanda rituals. Then he became wonderful devotee. Then he spoke to 10 Prachetas. They went back to Godhead. Then he spoke to King Chitraketu, who was busy begetting children. He became wonderful devotee. Then he spoke to Prahlad Maharaj, who was still in the womb of Kayadu. He was not even born. Narada Muni spoke to Prahlad Maharaj. That's how he became Mahabhagavata. Then Narada Muni spoke to Mrugari. He is a hunter. He would not kill animals completely. He would half kill and would wait till the animal dies. That is the way his father taught him. That Mrugari became a wonderful devotee. He does not even want to harm the ants. like our Jada Bharata. Then he spoke to Ratnakar, who came to loot and rob Narada Muni himself. And that Ratnakar became eventually Valmiki. And he also spoke to 10,000 Haryashvas and 1,000 Savalashvas, all became Paramahamsa Bhaktas. And that Narada Muni, at the beginning of Kali Yuga, spoke to Vyasadeva also. He told Vyasadeva is a devotee only. He is Lord Vishnu himself. For him, bhakti is not required. But Vyasadeva is the writer of the books. He told, you have written so many books. The 4 Vedas, 4 Upavedas, 108 Upanishads, so many Upanishads, and 18 major Puranas, 18 minor Puranas, like so many things. But in all the books, you have only glorified Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You have not glorified Bhakti sufficiently. Therefore, now write a book which glorifies Bhakti. Etaddi Atura Chittana Matra Sparchachayamuhu Bhavasindhu Plavodrushta Haricharya Anuvarnanam. Only write a book which only describes Bhakti. Then, following that instruction, Srila Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about 100 devotees. Bhagavatam talks about 100 devotees who by practicing Bhakti went back to Godhead. And then, he taught the same Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. And that Sukadeva Goswami now speaking the same Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And he tells that this Bhagavatam contains 10 topics. And the 10 topics were discussed by Maitreya and Vidura. So now, I will speak that Bhagavatam which Maitreya spoke to Vidura, which talks about the purpose of creation and process of creation. How this entire material creation happened and what is the purpose with which the material creation happened. So, what is your understanding of this creation? Why this world has been made? Huh? For material happiness. The material world is made for material happiness. So people say that in the material world, the people say, Asatyam apratishtam te jagadahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama hetukam. The people in this world, they say that Asatyam, this material world is false. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Jagat is completely Mithya. It is Asatyam. Some people say like that. Apratishtam, it has no foundation. वो अपने आप चल रहा है. It is running on its own. There is no one supervising the material world. And Anishwaram, there is no Lord. When we go out and say that, please worship Krishna, please worship Lord Rama, please worship Lord Vishnu. These are all human being created to create fear in the people. So that he can control them. Just to control the people, some people created God. There is no in reality there is no God only. And the world is happening on its own. For what purpose? For the purpose of fulfilling our lusted desires. Kimanyat kama hetukam. That's what they say. So propounding such kind of philosophies, they keep performing ugra karma. So many sinful activities. And they are misleading entire society. And what society will say? Ishwaroham, aham bogi, siddhoham, balavan sukhi. I am the Lord. I am the enjoyer. I am the most powerful person. And I am the one who is supposed to enjoy this world. Everyone is meant for my enjoyment. This is the final conclusion of the people in the material world. But what is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam? Why this world has been created? This world has been created to facilitate 3 things. One is, Jiva has some desire to enjoy. Please come to material world, enjoy in a bona fide authorized way following the injunctions of Vedas. If you are not done with, go to Swarga and enjoy opulent life, or go to Pitraloka, go here, go there and enjoy. Once everything is done, please come back to spiritual world. Matrartam cha, bhavartam cha, atmane kalpanaya cha. Having come to material world, enjoy in a bona fide way, not in a sinful way. After completing that, come back to spiritual world. How to go back to spiritual world? By following karma, jnana, yoga and bhakti. These are the 4 means of going back to Godhead. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, which Lord Kapila teaches to Mother Devahuti in the third canto. After explaining how the universe is created, Bhagavatam third canto also talks about what is the purpose of the creation of this universe. Ultimately, the purpose of the universal creation is to go back home back to Godhead. Bhagavatam is saying, somebody may question, okay, your Bhagavatam may say purpose of life is to go back home back to Godhead, but other scriptures are not talking about it. Why should we believe? Then Acharya say that every scripture, Vadanti Sakala Veda Itihasa Puranaka, all the Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, every scripture concludes saying that the purpose of human life is to going back home back to Godhead. Not only Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda and this Upanishad, everything is talking about the purpose of human life is to go back home back to Godhead. Why? Utna, what is the speciality of spiritual world? Why should I go? Here everything is fine. I have a home, I have my family members, I have my bank balance, properties, and everything is there. I have my job, I have my vehicle, everything is nicely there. Why should I go to spiritual world? He is going to spiritual is that important? How spiritual world is different from this material world? How spiritual world is different from Hyderabad? Because I have a home in Hyderabad, I have my family, friends, relatives. I am nicely living and enjoying in the company of all the friends and relatives. Why should I go to spiritual world? Why you people are always bothering us? In the name of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, Padma Purana, in the name of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Rigveda, Yajurveda. So why you people are always calling us to temple and attend in the morning programs, in the hearing boring lectures, all these things. Like that people may say. Now, in the whatever remaining time, we will try to understand, is it worth going to spiritual world? Or is it better to stay back in the material world? What is the difference between the spiritual world and the material world? Why Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Rigveda, Yajurveda are teaching us you should go to spiritual world? What is the difference? Now whatever remaining time, we'll try to understand that by describing the Vaikuntha, which is there in third canto Bhagavatam only, from chapter 15. This chapter begins, Diti one evening approached her husband Kashyapa. The reason is, Kashyapa married 17 daughters of Daksha. Out of 17, 16 became mothers. In this world, after marriage, for every woman, she wants to become mother. It is natural. And especially when there are so many co-wives, all other became mothers. If one does not become mother, she will be very much neglected, very much criticized. So she requested her husband, I want to become mother. Husband said, please wait till night. She said, no, you come once in a while and you will go back. There is no guarantee that you will come back again. She said, I want children right now. That was actually evening time when he was performing yajna. She insisted that we should have children. So, surrender to that providence, he agreed to beget children. In the Devatas community, as soon as mother and father come together, within 48 minutes, the child is born. They don't have to carry the child for 9 months. And next in another muhurta, the child will grow up and become 16 years old boy or girl. And they will remain for the entire life like 16 years only. They will never grow old in the heaven. But Kashyapa told, because you insisted to have child in the wrong time, you will give birth to 2 wrong children. They will never listen to Supreme Lord. They will be other means and they will cause trouble to the entire world. And they will be killed by Supreme Lord. There are 2 things. They will not follow Dharma. They will cause trouble to people. They will be killed by Supreme Lord. So Diti thought that if my children are going to cause trouble to the entire world, I should not give them birth immediately. At least they will be inside my womb. If they are born, they will trouble the entire world and they will be killed by Lord. I will not be with my children for long. She held the children in the womb for 100 years, not 1, 2, for 100 years. She was supposed to give birth in 1 muhurta, but kept the children for 100 years. The children were feeling so suffocated in the darkness. You are keeping us in darkness, will create darkness the entire universe. The entire universe became completely dark. Like quarantine during Corona. The Devatas, unable to do anything, they approached Brahma. They reported, Brahmaji, because of these two children, the entire universe became dark. We don't have anything to do. Please tell me what is the reason and please bring some solution. And Brahma smiled. Brahma knows I cannot give solution. Only Lord can give solution. Then he said, anyway, you don't have anything to do. Sit, let us have Bhagavad Katha. Then he began to tell, my sons, my 4 mental born sons, 4 Kumaras, okay, they are going here and there everywhere. They keep wandering because they are sannyasis, na? They keep wandering. So while they were wandering here and there, at one point of time, they went to Vaikuntha. Why they went to Vaikuntha? The 4 Kumaras went to Vaikuntha. Why? Myself and Narada Muni always spoke about Lord Vishnu. My 4 Kumaras are always attracted to Brahman. They always talk about Brahma Jyoti, Brahman, etc. because they are Brahmavadis. We always speak about Vishnu. But they would never agree. Vishnu is not superior, Brahman is superior. Because they spoke about Vishnu so much, they wanted to see Vishnu once. So they went to Vaikuntha. This story, all of you know, what happened with Jai Vijay and all, we are not discussing that. But Tayekada Bhagavato Vaikuntha Syamalatmana Eyor Vaikuntha Nilayam Sarva Loka Namaskrutam. They have been to Vaikuntha, which is worshipped by the 14 planetary systems. Because they have heard so much from Narada Muni and also from Brahma that there is Supreme Lord Vishnu is so beautiful, so wonderful, everything, etc. So now, as Kumaras are entering Vaikuntha, Brahma is talking about Vaikuntha. What is Vaikuntha? How is Vaikuntha different from the entire universe? Where they went? This is our universe, consisting of 14 planetary systems. So in that universe we have Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. In Satyaloka, Brahma resides. Just above Satyaloka is the Vaikuntha. That is where Lord Vishnu resides. That Vaikuntha was shown to Brahma long back, when Brahma was about to create. To that Vaikuntha now Kumaras are going to have darshan of Lord Vishnu. And to that Vaikuntha, previously, Durvasa Muni also went for his own protection. When he wanted to kill Ambarish Maharaj, Sudarshan Chakra chased after Durvasa. For protection, Durvasa went to this Vaikuntha for protection. Same way, to this Vaikuntha, Bhrigu Muni went to test Vishnu after testing Brahma and Shiva. This is Tirumala pastime. If we go to Tirumala, we hear this. Bhrigu Muni comes to Vaikuntha to test Lord Vishnu. The testing happened in Vaikuntha. And after the test, Mahalakshmi came down to Kolhapur thinking that in front of me, my Lord is being kicked by our Bhrigu. I did not do anything. So I have to atone for my offense. Mother Lakshmi comes down to Kolhapur. Searching after Mother Lakshmi, Lord Vishnu comes down to Tirumala. That is our Srinivasa. All these pastimes happened in this Vaikuntha, which is there under above Satyaloka in our universe. So our 4 Kumaras now go into that Vaikuntha. So what is the speciality of this Vaikuntha? Vasanti yatra purusha sarve Vaikuntha murtaya ye animitta nimittena dharmena aradayan harim. In Vaikuntha, there are so many Vaikuntha Vasis who are exactly like Vishnu and they are continuously worshipping Supreme Lord. So what do you mean by exactly like Vishnu? You have heard these names: Salokya, Sarishti, Samipya and Sarupya. You heard these things? They are called liberations, muktis. So now, whoever goes to Vaikuntha, they will also live along with Lord Vishnu same abode. Lord also staying in Vaikuntha, you are also staying in Vaikuntha. Lord stays in a wonderful palace and every Vaikuntha Vasi also has a palace which is exactly like that of Lord. There will be no difference. In this material world, all of us are serving our master. What kind of home the master lives, what kind of home the servant lives. All of us working in the company. What about the CEO of the company and what about us? What is our salary? What is CEO's salary? There is a difference. In Vaikuntha, there won't be any difference. Sarishti, Lord Vishnu and every Vaikuntha Vasi are same opulences. There is no difference. And What about the CEO? Where does he reside and where does the employee reside? But in Vaikuntha, Samipya. Here Lord Vishnu is there, next to him Vaikuntha Vasa residing. They are very closely residing. And finally, Sarupya. Whatever is the form of, beautiful form of Lord Vishnu, every Vaikuntha Vasi will have same form. Not at all nothing difference. Only one thing is difference. How to recognize Vishnu? There is one Kaustubhamani. Just by looking at Kaustubhamani, we can understand he is Vishnu. Remaining all are Vaikuntha Vasis. That is the glory of Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha, there is no distinction between the Lord and devotee. In the middle world, there is Jamin se Asman difference is there. The master and servant are that much different. In this world, 99% of people are working for the enjoyment of 1% of people. The heads of the corporate world is only 1%. The people who are working in the corporate are 99%. That is the difference here. But in Vaikuntha, there is no difference at all. And more than that, whoever goes to Vaikuntha will never come back. In this material world, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Even if one goes to Satya Loka, Brahma Loka also, one day one has to come back. Even if one goes to Sarga Loka, one day one has to come back. One cannot stay anywhere permanently in the material world. Even though in Bhuloka, in this human body, we can hardly stay 70, 80, 90, 100 years, not more than that. Afterwards, our family people only will say, how long you are living, die. That is the problem in the material world. But in the spiritual world, one goes there, you will never come back. Mamu pete tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. But still we may say, but still no problem. Still 70, 80 years is good enough. Acha hai na? But Lord Krishna says, Dukkhalayam. This material world is full of miseries. Still we may say, no, there is no dukkha, we are very happy. But that happiness does not last long. Ashashvatam. Therefore, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvataha taktva deha punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Therefore, please listen to the divine appearance and activity of Supreme Lord, by which you can come to my spiritual abode. You can stay there eternally. You don't have to take birth again. You don't have to take birth as pig, dog, cat, insect, human, and also sometimes Devata. This is the difference between material world and spiritual world. There is no distinction in the spiritual world. In the material world, there is full distinction. In the material world, we have to keep changing the body. In the spiritual world, no changes. You are eternally in that one form, always. And then one may say that, right? In the material world, we have family, friends, relatives, wife, children. We have a lot of exchanges. We have a lot of experiences. But what is in spiritual world? Bhagavatam says, in the spiritual world, one can have the same relationship with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Lord can become our father. Lord can become our son. Lord can become our husband. Lord can become our friend. Lord can become our master. The Supreme Lord is eager to exchange all the rasas with us at every moment. Yatra chadyapumanaste Bhagavan Shabda Gochara Satvam Vishtabhya Virajam Swanamno Mridayan Vrasha. Lord Vishnu is always eager to exchange that relationship with his wonderful devotees. There is nothing is lacking in the spiritual world. Whatever we have here, it is unlimitedly in a happy condition. It is available in the spiritual world. And then some details about the surroundings. In the spiritual world, there are a lot of vanas. Every vana is like kalpataru. Every plant is a kalpataru. Yatra nishre shamnama vanam kama dugair durma sarvarutu shri bir vibrajat kaivalyam iva murtimat. In the material world, the mango will give fruits only in summer. Other trees will give fruits in some other season. But in the spiritual world, every fruit of every season is available always. 6 rutus are simultaneously present. And every tree is wish-fulfilling tree. Every tree is Kalpataru. And the trees are compared to Brahmananda. The fragrance that is coming from the flowers and fruits is compared to Brahmananda. That means the entire atmosphere of Vaikuntha is filled with Brahmananda. Everywhere Brahmananda, Brahmananda, Brahmananda. Then what about the Vaikuntha Vasis? The trees and plants are emitting so much Brahmananda. But what about the Vaikuntha Vasis? Vaimanika salalanas charitani shashvat gayanti yatra shamalakshapanani bhartu antarjalenu vikasan madumadavinam gandena kandita diyopi anilam kshipanta. In material world, at max we can have a 2 BHK or 3 BHK flat in Hyderabad. Yes? Some people may have a bungalow. Okay? But in Vaikuntha, every Vaikuntha Vasi will have a Vimana. In the material world, if you want to go away, you need to lock. You need to put a camera. You need to put all your wealth in a safe locker in the bank. So much fear. Thieves can come anytime. In Vaikuntha, wherever they go, they take their home along with them. The Vimana is their home. Apna घर के साथ जा सकते. No problem of living behind the home. No fear of somebody stealing away your wealth. Okay? But while traveling in the Vimana, being accompanied with their wives, sometimes they alight from Vimana, they take while taking bath in the water pond also. In the water pond there are so many Madhavi flowers, lotus flowers. These flowers are emitting so much wonderful fragrance. And these Vaikuntha Vasis, they are saying that, you Madhavi flower, keep quiet. Don't disturb. We are busy singing the glories of the Supreme Lord. We are busy hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. You don't disturb us with your fragrance. Kandena. So, Kandita Diyo, Gandena Kandita Diyo. They are actually chastising the flowers and plants. You don't emit your fragrance, which is like Brahmananda. We are busy hearing and discussing Krishna Katha, which is like Bhagavat Ananda. In comparison to Bhagavat Ananda, Brahmananda is insignificant. Go away. They are chastising the wind which is carrying the fragrance toward them. You wind, take the fragrance that side. Don't come this side. This is the mentality of Vaikuntha Vasis. They are always busy in hearing and discussing and glorifying Lord Vishnu's wonderful pastimes. But in the material world, what do you want to do? We want to hear our glories. We don't want to hear Lord's glories. We always want to hear our glories. If somebody criticizes us, that's all. There is a fight. How dare you to say bad about me? That is the material world. In the spiritual world, everyone wants to speak and hear Krishna Katha, not their own Katha. Then what? Paravatanya Brutasha Rasachakra Vaka Datyuha Hamsa Sukha Siddhiri Barihinam Ya Kolahalo Viramate Chiramatra Mucher Bhrungadipe Harikatam Ivagayamana. In the Vaikuntha, there are so many birds which can produce wonderful cooing sound. All parrots and so many wonderful birds are there. They can make wonderful singing sound. But all these wonderful singing birds become silent when a Brunga flaps its wings. Brunga is not even singing, flaps its wings. That flapping of the wings looks like Harikatha, chanting of Lord's holy name. Hearing that sound, all the birds become silent and they listen to what Brunga is saying. Why? The birds are very beautiful to look at. The birds are very beautifully singing. In spite of that, very badly looking Brunga, if it flaps wings, why birds are stopping? The reason is, maybe once in a while, these birds can stand on the hands and the shoulders of the Supreme Lord. But Brunga, 24/7, can stand on the garland of the Supreme Lord. Only Brunga can touch the Supreme Lord 24/7, but none of the birds. That's why the birds are saying, you Brunga have the good fortune of landing at the Supreme Lord and his garland 24/7. We don't have that opportunity. You are the most fortunate. That's why Even your flapping is as good as chanting Lord's whole name. Then what to speak of you singing Lord's glories? Out of good fortune of Bringa, all the birds became silent. In the material world, if somebody becoming good, somebody becoming popular, we become envy. That is the problem here. Next. Mandara kunda karabot palachampa karna punnaga naga bakulangula parijata ganderchite tulasika baranena tasya yasmin tapassu manaso bahumanayanti. There are so many wonderful flower plants. Mandara, Kunda, Kuraba, Utpala, Champaka, Arana, Punnaga, Naga, Bakula, Ambuja, Parijata. All these beautiful fragrant flowers are there in the spiritual world. Every day, the Vaikuntha Vasis make so many wonderful garlands so that Lord can be decorated. Today they use Mandara, tomorrow Bakula, day after tomorrow Parijata, and afterwards lotus, lily, etc. etc. The flowers are getting used to make garland once in a while. But without fail, every day there is one garland on the neck of the Supreme Lord. Which garland? Tulsi garland. The flowers are saying that, oh Tulsi Maharani, what kind of tapasya you have done? You are there with the Lord both day and night. Lord will wear us only from morning 8 a.m. to evening 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Afterwards, they will remove the flower garland. But Tulsi garland will be there with the Lord even in the night also. You are 24/7, you are constantly in touch with the Supreme Lord. But we don't have that good fortune. Please tell us what tapasya you have done. We are ready to do the tapasya so that we can become like you. There is no envy at all. That is Vaikuntha. In the material world, if somebody becoming close to the famous person, they start spreading rumors. It's like that. That is the distinction between the material and spiritual world. And then Vaikuntha Vasis. The Vaikuntha Vasis who are constantly traveling in this Vimana is not made with stone, iron, cement, bricks. This Vimana is made up of Vaidurya Marakata Hema Mai Vimanai. Vaidurya, Marakata money and gold. The entire Vimana is made up of gold. And they are accompanied with their wives who are as beautiful as Mother Lakshmi. The male are exactly like Lord Vishnu. The female are exactly like Mother Lakshmi. In spite of living in the golden Vimana, in spite of living along with Mother Lakshmi likewise, the Vaikuntha men are not bewildered by this gold and women. They are only interested in glorifying the Supreme Lord. They are only interested in serving the Supreme Lord. That is Vaikuntha. They are always serving the Supreme Lord. What to speak of all these people? Even Mother Lakshmi is constantly engaging in Lord's service. All of us worship Lakshmi Devi so that we can get some wealth. Every shopkeeper, as soon as they open shop, they worship Lakshmi Devi so that their day there will be a lot of profit. But that Lakshmi is always engaged in Lord's service. Sri Rupini Kvanayati Charanara Vindam Leelambujena Harisadmani Mukta Dosha Samlakshate Sputika Kudya Upeta Hemni Sammarjasi Vayadanugrahaninya Yetna. The Vaikuntha is made up of crystal. The entire ground, the homes are all made up of jewels and crystal laden floors are there. There is no chance of dust in Vaikuntha. Still, in order to get the glance of Lord Vishnu, Mother Lakshmi and all other companions are brooming it. In the material world, we consider brooming is the lowest occupation. But Mother Lakshmi doing brooming always in the spiritual world to get the mercy of Supreme Lord. This is how Vaikuntha, the people are engaged. They have only one thing, how to please Lord by our singing, glorifying, worshipping, making garlands, and even brooming the Vaikuntha palace, where there is no dust at all. That is the nature of all the personalities in Vaikuntha. Finally, Mother Lakshmi always decorates herself very nicely so that she can give pleasure to Lord Vishnu. The Lord Vishnu will be happy by the service of Mother Lakshmi and all the Vaikuntha Lakshmis. They are always eager to serve Lord Vishnu. Then if Mother Lakshmi is eager to serve Lord Vishnu, then what to speak of? All Vaikuntha Vasis. Everyone is busy serving Lord Vishnu. This is the difference between Vaikuntha and material world. Finally, Lord Brahma says, who can go to this Vaikuntha? Yanna vrajanti agabido rachananuvada shrunvanti ye anya vishaya kohakamatigni yatu struta hatabagair nrubidasta sarat tam tan kshipanti asharaneshu tamassu hanta. Those people who don't want to hear about the Supreme Lord, instead they want to hear about themselves, or they want to hear about cricket, football, volleyball, real estates, politics, movies, etc., etc. Such kind of people whose intelligence has been bewildered by all these material things, who does not want to hear Krishna Katha, never ever can go to spiritual world. They are not at all qualified. And then, who else is not qualified? Yebhyartitam apichano nrugatim prapanna jnanam cha tattva vishayan sadharma metra naradanam bhagavato vitarantya musha sammohita vitataya batamaya yae. In spite of having gotten human birth, in which one can practice dharma, one can worship the Supreme Lord, one can hear about the Lord, and one can serve the Supreme Lord, one can chant Harinam. In spite of that, who cannot do? He who cannot do, whose intelligence has been bewildered by Maya, such a person will never ever go to Vaikuntha. Are Baba, you said you are going to speak about who is going to Vaikuntha, but you are talking about who is not going to Vaikuntha. Please tell us who can go to Vaikuntha. Then finally Brahma says, who can go to Vaikuntha? Yaccha vrajanti animisham Rishabhanu vritya dure yamahi uparina spurhaniya shila bharturmita suyashasa krita katananuraga viklavya bashvakalaya pulakagni kritanga. That person who always has a desire to hear about the Supreme Lord, Katha Anuraga, who has strong desire to hear Krishna Katha, and while hearing Krishna Katha, Pulaki Kritagnanga, all body is trembling. The entire body, out of ecstasy of hearing Krishna Katha, is trembling. The hairs are standing on end. The eyes are downpouring tears of ecstasy. And who can't stay even 1 minute, animation means even 1 second, without listening to Krishna Katha, without discussing Krishna Katha, without worshipping the Supreme Lord. Only that person is qualified to go back to Vaikuntha. And that can be easily available in Bhuloka. Brahma says, even we want to get birth in Bhuloka. Because in Bhuloka one can attain this. Not in the heaven. In heaven there are a lot of opportunity for enjoyment. Very difficult to do bhakti. In the Bhuloka, one can very easily do bhakti. Such a opportunity let us get, like that Brahmaji is praying for. In Bhuloka, even a 5-year-old boy like Dhruva Maharaj, who practiced bhakti, went back to Godhead. In Bhuloka, even Ajamila, who was so much addicted to a prostitute, hearing Harinam, practicing bhakti, went back to Godhead. Then why not others? So one may say, why should we go to back to Godhead? Finally, Vaikuntha is our eternal home. We all came from Vaikuntha, like Jaya Vijaya came down. And we all can go back to Vaikuntha by following bhakti. Just like Devahuti and Kardama also went back to Vaikuntha by following bhakti. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3 tells us. Our eternal home is Vaikuntha. The purpose of human life is to practice bhakti. As a result of that, finally we will go to Vaikuntha. Because by doing other things, charities, yajna, yoga, dana, dharma, etc., at max you can go to Svargaloka and even beyond that, Brahmaloka also. But one day you have to come back after the piety is over. Only after going to Vaikuntha, one will never ever come back. In Vaikuntha, there is no distinction between the Supreme Lord and the human beings. In the material world, wherever you go, there is a distinction. When you go to Swargaloka, Indra will not make you Indra. Indra will remain Indra and you will give you one building. Enjoy there. Don't come and disturb me. But if you go to Vaikuntha, Lord will make you Vaikuntapati. The only difference between Lord and you is Kaustubhamani. That's all. That is only for the purpose of identifying who is Lord. Lord will make the devotee exactly like himself. That's why one should go to Vaikuntha. That's why in order to go to Vaikuntha, Jada Bharata is behaving like that. Unmatta, Jada, Badira, Anda. That's why Parikshit Maharaj could have counteracted the curse of Shrungi, but he does not want to do. He want to go to Vaikuntha, he want to listen Bhagavatam and go to Vaikuntha. In spite of having a wonderful kingdom, he can enjoy like lavishly. He is very youth. He is very young person. Still, he took renunciation. Why? He want to go to Vaikuntha. Because Vaikuntha is this. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. With these few words, I will stop here. Hare Krishna. It's already 9:20. Do we have some time to take some questions?
Hare Krishna. If somebody has any question, you can raise your hand. Related to topic, you can ask question preferably.
Yes. Just ask question. Don't tell here and there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Loud.
Thank you for the wonderful class. So we have listened that there are many good qualities in spiritual world. There is equality, there is freedom, there is justice. But yesterday in the class you said that material world is reflection of spiritual world. Then why there is very less, or we can say no qualities in this material world as compared to spiritual world? Everything is there, but quality is why it is less. I think you got through.
There is one thing is not available in the spiritual world. The Vaikuntha Vasis are exactly like Lord Vishnu. But the Vaikuntha Vasis are not Vishnu. The Vaikuntha Vasis cannot become Vishnu in the spiritual world. They are always happy serving the Lord. But if they have a desire to become like Vishnu, I want to be the master, everyone should serve me. That is not possible in Vaikuntha. People can have that experience. For that reason, the Lord created material world. In the material world, one can say, Ishwaroham, Aham Bhogi, Balavan, Siddhoham, Balavan Sukhi. This you cannot experience in the spiritual world. To give you this experience, the Lord had created a material world. At the same time, the Lord don't want this person to stay here. You can have that experience for a while, but that experience comes with a cost of misery. So that an intelligent person does not want to stay in the material world always. So he will go back to spiritual world. That's how he intelligently created this. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. You can have the experience of Ishvara, Balavan, Sukhi, Siddha, but only for small time. Understand that it is very difficult to remain Ishvara. So better to be a servant and go back to Godhead. So like that. Anyone else? Here. Not audible.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the class, Prabhu. Prabhu, I just wanted to ask, like, a person who is liberated can go to Vaikuntha, but Durvasa Muni still has a material body, but how could he go to the Vaikuntha? Because only Sachidananda body, after getting we can go, right?
Like Durvasa, Vasishta, Pulaha, Kratu, they are all Jivan Muktas. They are not conditioned souls, they are Jivan Muktas. They are all teachers here. See, in the past, when somebody becomes teacher, they will remain in the school for their entire life. They don't change from one school to other school. Nowadays, the teachers are keep transferring from school to school always. Wherever they are getting more salary, they are keep shifting. The teacher will remain there only. The student will come, study, pass and will leave and go. The teacher will always remain there. Okay? All the great sages are teachers. They are teaching different things. Narada Muni teaching Bhakti, Kumaras are teaching Jnana, Yoga. All the other sages are teaching Nishkam Karma Yoga. Like that, Durvasa Muni is also a teacher. But sometimes, in order to teach us good lesson, He himself does bad activities. Just because he is doing bad activities, he is not a bad person. He is doing bad activities with the intention to teach us. If you do bad thing, you will get trouble. A teacher teaches by his own example. Apne acharati Prabhu sabha shikayala. Okay? It is like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone else? Please transfer the mic behind. (9:26).
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Little louder. Keep the microphone close to your mouth.
Very blessed Prabhuji. As you said, teacher.
Keep the mic close to you.
Yeah. As even Kabir Das ji told, Guru Govind dohu kade kahe lagu paye, Balhari Guru aapki diyo bataye. So, means how to make teacher happy, how to become a good shishya, and second is like how much like teacher is more than God. So how to keep like how to pray God and teacher.
No need to worry all these things. Just listen to the teacher and follow what teacher says. And keep listening to the teacher. The only thing we can make happy the teacher is keep him as a teacher always. Teacher means he teaches, we should listen and follow. As long as we continue to hear and continue to follow the teacher remains teacher and we remain student, and teacher will be happy and we are also happy. The teacher teaches us how to serve the Lord. Keep serving the Lord, teacher will be happy. That's all.
Efficient shishya how, sir?
No need to worry about efficiency. Don't follow progress card. 70%, 80%, first class, second class. No. In the spiritual activity, there is no gradation. There is only one thing. The birds may be wonderful devotees, but they are happy to become silent when Brunga is flapping the wings. There is no gradation in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, in the spiritual activities, everyone is equal. Like Lord Vishnu made everyone equal. So there is no superior devotee and inferior devotee. There is only devotee. So no gradation. Just follow the instructions of Guru and serve the Lord. That makes Guru happy and Lord happy. That's all. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasada. Any one final question? We have just 2 minutes. 9:30 we are closing. Here, one Prabhuji is asking, raising here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you were mentioning that one of the dharma of a human being is to help others to reach Vaikuntha. But whereas Jada Bharata, he remained, like Jada. So he is not fulfilling that aspect. Is it not, Prabhu?
Okay.
How do we understand this?
Good question. पूरा story खत्म हुआ नहीं. Story अभी भी चालू रहे. Jada Bharata remained silent with his family members because his family members are Karmakandi Brahmanas. They are only interested in Karmakanda. They are not interested in Bhakti. So for a Karmakandi Brahmana, whatever you say, they will not listen. When we go for book distribution, sometimes Brahmanas comes. They will say that I know all these things. I am a Chaturvedi. What Bhagavad Gita they were talking about? I know I am a Chaturvedi. I know better than you. You don't have to tell me. That is a problem with Karmakandi Brahmanas. Okay? So he did not reveal his mercy to his family members, though they are Brahmanas. And then the robbers who wanted to offer him Bali for Kali, he did not speak because they are already in the mode of ignorance. क्या बताएंगे उनको? If a Karmakandi Brahmana can't listen and understand, what to speak of a robber? So he remained silent. But Rahugana, the king, is in Satvaguna. He will speak to Rahugana. He will deliver Rahugana. By listening and following those teachings of Jada Bharata, not Jada Bharata, Brahmana Bharata, we can also go back to Godhead. So he will speak only when there is a appropriate student. The Guru becomes Guru when we become student. If there is no student, Guru remains silent. Only when there is student, then the Guru opens his mouth and speaks. It is our duty to become student, so that Guru becomes Guru and his life becomes successful. Okay? It is our duty to make the successful life, the life of Guru successful. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. It is 9:30. It is getting late. Devotees are feeling hungry. They are not able to speak one word also here. They are so much hungry. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय।
His Grace Pavaneshwar Prabhu ji ki jai.
बोलने वाला की जय।